When you guys listen to that, when Dana finishes the podcast and Lorenzo calls in, think Chris Farley. He sounded just like Chris Farley, I swear to God. With the breathing and the way he enunciated his words.
I missed my opportunity. I should have asked him to pick me up a pair of velour sweatpants.
The Velour Fog. Zap Brannigan at your service. Oh my goodness! Don't look now, but it's time for the Week 16 Heat Check. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're on to round 2 of the playoffs in Super Funhouse Fantasy 2 Turbo. And certainly was a gripping week. There was drama, at least for a little bit. And we've got a fresh round of games to review. But before we do that, I'd like to introduce the two fine gentlemen joining me here on the Funhouse back deck on this fairly cold December evening. And the first rejoining us after some absence.
What's up, shitheads? It's me, your boy, the #1 footboy from Northampton County, $1,000 town. This gimme your snack pack, the paranoid android, the sandwich from a different manwich. And I'm just like Kurt Brian Howells.
Oh man, we missed you.
I'm sure you did. Glad someone did.
Yes, wow. I mean, as you know, like there was there's been some I don't know how to put this, competition, I guess, for your intro style recently, that you may or may not have heard.
I'm all about competition. It just raises my game.
Yeah, I could tell. Well, anyway, but speaking of, next to you is Clayton joining us again. How are you, Clayton?
Hello, League. I'm not going to try and compete with Howells, but I did write a little Christmas poem for our fantasy league.
Wonderful.
It goes a little like this. 'Twas the week before Christmas, when all through the fun house, not a creature was stirring, not even Brian Howells. The rosters were all set on Sleeper with Care, in hopes injured players would not be there. The bye-week teams were nestled, but no work is ahead, while visions of sugar plums danced in Rob and Mig's heads. With Mark in his chef's hat and Nick's 2 kickers taking a nap, Drew is making roster moves to avoid the bowl of crap. Then out on the deck arose such a clatter, Dion sprang from the bar to see what was the matter. Away he flew to the deck like a flash. It was Delajuan buying shots from Derek, paying with cash. Then what to his wondering eyes did appear? A podcast with Dano and Clayton, sharing some beer. With a bye week on his shoulder, so lively and quick, there stands a singer from Deanna. Lorenzo's his name, I think. While Buka avoided a beating with the stick, there are 4 of us remaining, waiting for the belt from Saint Nick.
That is excellent. Bravo, and yeah, I mean, this is the last week before Christmas, last episode before Christmas, and what a way to get started with it. As a reminder, probably none of you need it, but it's just going to be a very NFL Christmas with the usual full slate of games on Sunday, Christmas Eve, and 3 games featuring each, I believe, featuring teams that are favored by members of this league on Christmas Day. I believe you got the Raiders and the Eagles and the Niners. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the league is pretty well represented on Christmas Day. Let's review some of the action that occurred. And what the hell, Clayton? Let's start with our game. You know, I started James Cook, and he was probably, RB1 last week? 2! He was RB2! Who the fuck beat him? Doesn't matter. But he had an amazing game against Dallas. He doubled the entirety of Dallas's total yards by himself, and he scored 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns. And amazing game. Singletary, 21 points. And right around there is where the good news ends. Patrick Mahomes clocked in his usual 15-ish points. And if you watch that Chiefs game, it was about the most, Mahomes fantasy owner game ever. The first score was a gadget play where he handed it off to Jerick McKinnon, who threw the pass. And then the game ends with them taking a knee inside the 5. So, fuck me, man, I guess. Let's see, do I have any... Yeah, I didn't play. My foolish Steeler fandom made me put Pickens there and not play Ty Chandler, who had quite a game. But honestly, if I had done that... That would have got me. That still wouldn't have got me the win. I still would have fallen 10 points short of the dire Fumpsters. And I don't even know where to begin with this, Clayton, so why don't you?
Well, Baker Mayfield apparently had a career game. Broke history in Green Bay.
Who do you think has the biggest risk of underperforming?
I mean, obviously, Baker Mayfield, first time starting him. He's at Green Bay. That's not an easy place to play, no matter how good or bad they are. So that was shit luck, but it doubled up Patrick Mahomes.
It shows that this is a charmed season for you.
Yeah, and then from there it just trickled down. Rachaad White 21, Gibbs 24, Lamb 18. The Jets did shit the bed, but my new favorite tight end, McBride, got me 20, and the Dolphins defense got me 24.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
It was just from every angle, man. So now it's on to Dion.
Yes, it is. The man who I faced twice this year. Way back in week 3 when my team wasn't even born yet, I lost 148 to 70 to Dion. And what's ironic is Dion's last game played because he had a bye. We played the last week of the season, and I beat him 156 to 122.
Got the usual rash of 49ers.
Yes, playing the Ravens.
That's right. As we talked about last week, this might be the most vulnerable Dion's ever going to be. So
I will also say I just found out good news because that is the Christmas night game, and I'll have to watch because half of Dion's team is playing. The Funhouse will be open Christmas night, so I'll be here if you guys want to join me for a drink. I'll buy you around.
Howells, do you have any observations with this?
I read an article today that was about why you are winning in your fantasy football, and one of them that they said was you stacked 49ers on your team.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
That was one thing they said. I'm like, hey,
holy shit! Dion's draft strategy getting shouted out in major publications.
I'm not gonna lie, knock on wood, I am confident that I can beat Dion. I am very confident.
Man, I mean, Mayfield turns in another one like that.
Well, I got Mayfield or Minshew, who I could throw in, who's projected higher. But after what Mayfield did last week, I kind of got to run with it. I like teams that are fighting for the playoffs, and the Buccaneers are one of them. So,
and if Y.A. Tittle coming in for the Jets is can actually put up some numbers.
Is that who they're bringing in?
I don't know. Who's the fucking guy?
George Blanda.
George Blanda. That's who they need.
He's
That's
86 in a wheelchair, but
you can get because it'd be great. He'll finally be able to throw a catchable ball to Garrett Wilson, and he'll be able to get you field goal points. Dion could not be here with us today, but he did ask me to pass along a message. He says, "The league is mine, Chico."
And everything in it.
Let's move on then to the other game that was played in the winner's bracket, and that was where Derek defeated Delajuan as projected, despite, I think, an early surge by Delajuan in last week's games. Derek managed to come back close the loop. Although the Bills as a team dismantled the Cowboys, Josh Allen just kind of turned in what is, by his own standards, pretty pedestrian numbers.
Laporta. Oh my gosh. That's 30 points for a tight end.
Yeah.
I would say that was the key difference in both teams was Laporta's playing over Evan Ingram. That's 28-6. That's 22 point swing right there. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, Godwin got, I think it was Godwin who got Delajuan off to a hot start. Well, that, and then Rashee Rice, who kind of coming in to be the bright spot in the absolute leper colony that is otherwise the Chiefs' receiving corps. I don't know. Like, I don't know how else you explain that Kadarius Toney drops all those things except the ball hits his hands and his arm falls off. Oh, there he is! It's the friendly neighborhood bartender, Derek. Who has? We were just talking about how, despite an early scare, you ended up walking away with your win over Delajua.
Yes. My running backs are something else.
Yeah.
I'm actually this week. I'm going to roll with Aaron Jones. I'm going to finally give him the start.
Okay.
Played a little bit against the Buccaneers, not much, but.
I see he's questionable. Is there nothing to be concerned about?
Again?
That's what it says here. I haven't read the
He's
note.
questionable every game.
Well, if not, then I'm going to have to go with Chase Brown.
Well, it says limited at Wednesday's practice, so he played it all, so assume that he will actually play. What are your thoughts on the matchup? What are the keys?
I think the keys will be Tyreek Hill not playing.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Michael Parsons chasing Tua around.
As he is known to do.
Yeah. And my running game just needs to step up. And I really like Rashee Rice in my flex, though. I think he's really been lighting it up.
We have something similar, Derek. Both Lorenzo and Dion, the Niners and the Dolphins, both have very hard games with the Cowboys and Ravens.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage that we have over the number one seeds.
Yep.
Yeah, just bad timing. But all right, it's going to be a nail biter. Thanks so much, Derek, and best of luck to you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, let's go to the phones. I believe we've got Don Cherleone with us.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Lorenzo?
Listen, I'm calling you guys from the Mecca.
Wait, are you at Pro Player Stadium?
No, I'm at a Walmart. It is a Mecca of just degenerate and awesome behavior.
That's very much on brand for you.
Yeah, I'm hanging out here. I've decided I'm packing it in for Christmas. I'm just going to live here now. It's more entertaining than anything I could have ever dreamed of.
I love it. I understand they serve a good rotisserie chicken.
They might.
You're like Natalie
I've
Portman.
never been inside.
So, Lorenzo, we just heard from your opponent this week. Derek just came out, brought us some drinks. And you're locked in battle with him, and I don't know, man. This might also be the most vulnerable you're going to be all season.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough, but I think that Don is going to pull through. I'm positive that Don's going to pull through.
Okay.
Listen, it's the Don. He pulls through. They owe me some favors.
Right.
You know, if we don't forget, I went to Florida and I had a couple conversations with a couple people, and some people owe me some favors, and they are going to make sure that these Dolphins do their damn job.
So I noticed in the news this week that Tyreek Hill got hit with 2 paternity suits. Are you going to help those go away?
Oh, those are gone. Listen, they just be tripping. And I'm worried enough about his ankle. He can't be worried about anything else, you know? So, I've taken care of the proper measures, the channels, everything is done, you know? We're going to call it legal.
So, anything else you want to say or weigh in on your matchup here?
Yeah, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Wonderful.
And I want to tell everybody that this is the year of the Don.
Yeah, happy Chinese New Year, bitches. It's the year of the Don.
It's the year of the Don.
All right, well, Merry Christmas to you, Lorenzo. I'm sure we'll see you real soon in the new year. And best of luck in your matchup.
Hey, I don't need luck. I've got the fins.
Let's get down to the fun stuff, shall we? It is the second round in the toilet bowl. Last week we had Buka escape versus Drew, and is now safe from getting caned repeatedly. Now Drew is going to be locked in battle against Nick Baranowski, an ill 1/5. And as I look at this now, it's close, but slightly favoring Nick. So, gentlemen, what do you see needs to happen here for Drew not to have to renew his passport?
Browning has to do some work. I don't.
Well, seeing his opponent, Browning probably will. Let me remind you guys. DeMonte Kazee, the second safety for the Steelers, just got suspended indefinitely, or at least for the rest of the season and postseason. Lol, because of a nasty hit that he put on. Who was that? Michael Pittman. And Minka Fitzpatrick then gets injured on the very next play. So for those of you keeping score at home like I am, the Steelers have one questionable inside linebacker who was not on a practice squad to start the season. They're down 3 starting safeties. I have a feeling that Jake Browning is going to top 30 points. So that might be I think that's going to be a bright spot in Drew's game, but will it be enough?
I have some questions with Nick's starters. A lot of them, I'm just clicking through them while you were talking, a lot of them are projected way higher than what they're averaging. So to me, that's a bit of a risk with that score, but we will see. We will see, but I have some questions in there.
Yeah, a lot of this is situational.
Yeah.
I feel like the 24 points from Hurts against the Giants seems reasonable enough and possibly even to be exceeded.
He needs to go off.
He's back to the well with Deontay Johnson, although of recent weeks he might be one of the only real fantasy highlights on that team.
T. Higgins is projected real high too for next team.
He blew it up last week.
I know he did last week, but
and once again against that Pittsburgh secondary, I don't know.
He's averaging 10, so maybe that's fair. We'll see.
Oh boy, I see a whole lot of wild swings possible here.
This goes either way. This is a toss-up in my head.
Yeah, Howells, any observations?
Well, I just see that Don made a move.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he dropped Hunt for a case of Deer Park water at at the Walmart right now.
Oh shit, look at this. I know that Drew was talking about trying to choose between Darren Waller and Taysom Hill. I think Taysom Hill might not actually be healthy. No, he's healthy. He's just not sure whether to start him against the Rams or Waller against the Eagles.
Let's face it with this game, guys. You have Nick's punishment, which is, might cost him a few bucks. And then you have Drew's punishment that's $5,000 plus, most likely. So that's the big story with that game. And I think it's a little scary for Drew that if he drops this game, he has to win or he's going to Spain.
Yeah.
I mean, at least if Drew loses, the sex toy bingo that I have planned to raise funds is going to be fun.
Miggs/Rob managed to escape the toilet bowl in their game versus them. Brian Howells. Brian, tell us what happened.
Just can't get any numbers out of my people. I think the Falcons coach should be fired. He doesn't use anybody.
Yeah. Bijan Robinson just hanging out there.
Uses him as a decoy all the time. Doesn't give him the freaking ball. But I tell you what, I have a lot of fiber in me, and I'm gonna float to the top of the water of this fucking bowl. You're not flushing. You're not flushing.
Let's take a look at your match now against Mark.
How do you feel about the match?
I think
it doesn't matter how you feel.
You've got probably a more comfortable margin of any of the 4 games we've looked at so far. Cooper Kupp is finally rounding into what should have been his entire season form, but better late than never, I guess. Travis Kelce, having, by his own standards, not the year that Mark would have wanted, but he's going against the Raiders, which this could be.
Mark, you need a kicker in there. Just so you know. Unless you just want to cook.
Oh, shit.
His kicker's on a free agent now.
Oh, balls. Oh, no.
Just, I don't know if Mark knows yet.
Oh, okay.
There goes my lead.
You got kind of like the what are you going to get out of this superstar receiver thing of Devontae Adams versus Cooper Kupp and Amari Cooper. The Travis Kelce is Taylor Swift in attendance. It is a home game, so that's on the table. Let's see, Drew Hort, Jerick McKinnon, who stole fantasy points from me. That son of a bitch. And I don't know. Oh, Jonathan Taylor is on his bench, and he might be healthy.
I could sum up Mark's year in 2 sentences. Last week, the Raiders scored 63 points, and half of those was on defense.
Yeah.
And Mark had the Raiders' defense on his bench.
Oh, my God. It's just,
30-plus points wasted.
Buys when it pains, it roars.
Yeah.
And I want to point out here, by the way, Howells, that you've got Cameron Dicker on your bench.
Yeah.
I know you've got Justin Tucker starting, but it just seems a horrible waste.
The Gay Dickers. Lorenzo has Gay on the bench, by the way, too.
We're past the trade deadline, but that would have been I bet he would have taken that. You probably could have fleeced him for some stuff. We will see and find out if it's going to be an aspiring stand-up comedian or an aspiring chef emerging into the finals of the Toilet Bowl next week.
You suck.
Anything else anybody would like to offer, throw out? Anything we missed on an earlier game or whatever?
No, good luck to everybody. It's going to be at least we got practice all year with the London game setting our lineups, but I know that with Christmas and, for the championship, New Year's Eve and all, we're all going to be like, oh shoot, let me check my lineups quick. I'd hate to see anybody miss out on a questionable player going out and then just having 0 points and losing the game.
Yes, indeed. Although it's going to be very festive and fun, balancing priorities will be a challenge during this holiday NFL fantasy extravaganza.
All I want for Christmas is a fucking win.
Never more important than it is right now. And yes, for my part, I'd like to offer a very sincere Merry Christmas to all of you, and thanks once again for making this just the best damn fantasy league around. May you all have great Christmases, a wonderful week, good luck in your games, and we'll see you next week to check the finals.